Welcome dear friends to my video lecture on communication paper 1 NET paper 1 unit 4. This is part B, the second section. Already I have given the part A and now I am just giving the part B, the remaining portion, whatever I have done already. Now the remaining portion I am giving. This is according to the latest syllabus. So all the headings are here and then I have given some explanations along with some expected questions. I am sure you will enjoy this video also as you already done it. Welcome to my course. God bless you abundantly. Let us straight away enter into the topic. Why group communication is important? Understanding goals together. Good group communication makes sure everyone knows the goals and tasks. This helps people work together without misunderstandings. Better decisions. In groups, decisions are made together. Good communication means sharing all the important information so decisions are smart and fair. Then it helps us to solve problems. Problems happen in groups, but good communication helps solve them. It lets people talk openly, understand each other, and find solutions everyone agrees on. Then being creative. It helps us to be creative. Group talks lead to new ideas and creative solutions. When people share different ideas, they can find new ways to do things, creative ways to do things. Getting things done. Clear communication means work gets done faster and better. It stops people doing the same thing twice and keeps everything on track. What makes group communication work? Listening. Everyone needs to listen and understand each other. This shows respect and helps everyone feel heard. Being clear. Messages should be easy to understand. Confusing messages make communication hard. Being open. People should feel safe to share their thoughts. Honest talk builds trust. Respecting differences. Everyone has different ideas. Listening to them all helps make better decisions. Giving feedback. Giving helpful feedback helps people improve. How to make group communication better? Set clear goals. Make sure everyone knows what they are working towards. Use different ways to talk. Sometimes it is best to talk face to face. Other times a message works better. Encourage everyone to speak. Everyone should feel like they can share their ideas. Agree on how to talk. Set rules for how to communicate. Consistency helps everyone understand each other. Learn to solve problems. Teach people how to talk through problems and find solutions that work for everyone. Why good group communication is great? Stronger relationships. When people talk well, they trust each other more and work better together. Getting things done. Good communication makes work go smoothly and quickly. Being creative. Sharing ideas leads to new and exciting solutions. Happier people. When people can talk openly, they feel happier at work. Smart choices. Clear communication leads to smart decisions and solves problems faster. As concluding remark, we can say this: group communication is super important for success. By understanding each other, working together, and solving problems, groups can reach their goals. Following good communication practices helps groups grow and do great things together. Some of the questions we can discuss. Which of the following is a key component of effective group communication? A. Active listening. B. Dominating the conversation. C. Ignoring group dynamics. D. Avoiding feedback. That is active listening. Active listening involves fully engaging with the speaker, understanding the message, and providing appropriate responses. It is a critical aspect of effective group communication, promoting understanding and collaboration. In a group discussion, what is an essential element for successful communication? A. Monopolizing the discussion. B. Encouraging participation from all members. C. Avoiding eye contact. D. Limiting diverse perspectives. That is, encouraging participation from all members. Encouraging participation from all group members fosters a diverse range of ideas and perspectives, enhancing the quality and effectiveness of communication within the group. Which communication tool facilitates effective group discussions by organizing ideas visually? A. Email. B. Mind mapping. C. Text messaging. D. Voicemail. Mind mapping, they're visual, no? They're talking about visual object. Mind mapping is a visual tool that helps in organizing ideas, concepts and information, making it easier for group members to understand and contribute to discussions effectively. In group discussion, what is a potential barrier that hinders effective understanding? A. Active listening. B. Use of jargon and technical terms. C. Clarifying ambiguous points. D. Providing constructive feedback. That is, use of jargon and technical terms. The use of jargon and technical terms can create confusion and hinder understanding, especially if not all group members are familiar with the terminology. For an example, people belonging to chemistry discipline, they can have all sorts of technical terms, they can understand each other. If those technical terms were used in the group of math students, they may not understand because the disciplines are different. So that becomes a jargon and technical terms. It will create confusion and hinder understanding among math students. I hope you understood this. So the use of jargon and technical terms can create confusion and hinder understanding. Which communication channel allows for immediate feedback and clarification during a group discussion? A. Email. B. Video conference. C. Letter. D. Brochure. Video conference. Video conferencing allows real-time interaction, immediate feedback, and the opportunity to clarify points during a group discussion, promoting effective communication. So, video conference, real-time interaction takes place, so more effective. Which conflict resolution approach is characterized by finding a middle ground and compromising to achieve a resolution? A. Avoidance. B. Collaboration. C. Accommodation. D. Competition. I hope you understood this. It is around 11 o'clock. You need because I must make it very clear to you. Which conflict resolution approach is characterized by finding a middle ground and compromising to achieve a resolution? Which approach? For making peace. That is the understanding. A. Avoidance. B. Collaboration. C. Accommodation. D. Competition. That is collaboration. Collaboration involves working together to find a solution that satisfies the concerns of all parties, all people, promoting understanding and effective resolution of conflicts. When leading a group discussion, which leadership style emphasizes team involvement and decision making through consensus? Consensus means decision taken by all, one decision taken, everyone has accepted the decision. That is consensus. A. Authoritarian. B. Democratic. C. Laissez-faire. D. Autocratic. That is democratic. Democratic leadership involves involving the team in decision making, considering their input and achieving group consensus, promoting effective group communication. In a group meeting, what is an effective way to manage time and keep discussions focused? A. Allowing members to ramble off topic. B. Setting a clear agenda and time limits for each topic. C. Avoiding setting any time constraints. D. Skipping topics that seem less important. So what should be the correct answer for this one? In a group meeting, what is an effective way to manage time and keep discussions focused? That is by setting a clear agenda and time limits for each topic. Having a structured agenda and time limits for each topic helps manage time effectively and ensures that discussions stay focused and productive. Which step in the communication process involves interpreting the message and assigning meaning to it? Again, I repeat, which step in the communication process involves interpreting the message and assigning meaning to it? A. Encoding, B. Decoding, C. Feedback, D. Channeling. That is decoding. Because that is where it is the place where the receiver interprets the message through some channel. Right? Decoding. Decoding is the process of interpreting the received message, assigning meaning to it, and understanding the sender's intent, which is crucial for effective communication. What is a crucial aspect of non-verbal communication in a group setting? A. Maintaining eye contact, B. Avoiding gestures, C. Speaking rapidly, D. Ignoring facial expressions. What should be the correct answer for this question? Maintaining eye contact. What is a crucial aspect of non-verbal communication in a group setting? Maintaining eye contact. Maintaining eye contact is an essential non-verbal communication cue that conveys attentiveness, interest, and engagement in a group setting, enhancing effective communication. What is the primary purpose of effective group communication? A. To dominate the conversation, B. To persuade others to your point of view, C. To foster understanding and achieve common goals, D. To engage in conflict and disagreement. So what is the primary purpose of effective group communication? That is to foster understanding and achieve common goals. Effective group communication aims to promote understanding and collaboration among group members to achieve shared objectives. What is the key benefit of active listening in group communication? What is the key benefit of active listening in group communication? That is, it demonstrates respect and empathy, fostering better relationships. Active listening promotes respect, empathy, and better interpersonal relationships within the group, leading to effective communication. In a group setting, what is a common barrier to effective communication? 4 options given. So, common obstacle is misunderstandings and conflicts. Misunderstandings and conflicts often hinder effective group communication by disrupting the flow of information and creating tensions. Which communication channel is sustainable for conveying complex and detailed information in a group discussion? Which communication channel is suitable for conveying complex and detailed information in a group discussion? That is written communication. Why? Written communication allows for the presentation of complex and detailed information that can be reviewed and referenced by group members. So that is the correct answer according to these 4 options. Next one, what is the purpose of an agenda in group meeting? We give the time schedule, everything, that is agenda. Just, choose any one of the 4 options. That is to provide a structured plan or objectives for the meeting. That is called agenda. No? Agenda means nothing but providing a structured plan and objectives for the meeting. An agenda outlines the topics and goals of a meeting, providing direction and structure to enhance group communication. When should group leaders use feedback to improve communication within the group? When should group leaders use feedback to improve communication within the group. Yeah, I mean, you just see all the four options. I mean, at which, time, which situation the group leaders should use feedback to improve communication within the group. That is, regularly and consistently throughout group interactions. Regular feedback helps group leaders address communication issues and make necessary improvements as they arise. So regular feedback helps group leaders address communication issues. So when should group leaders use feedback to improve communication within the group? That is, regularly and consistently throughout the group interactions. So that is the idea here. What is the purpose of paraphrasing in group communication? A. To confuse the audience with the alternate explanations. B. To summarize and restate someone's message to ensure understanding. C. To monopolize speaking time. D. To promote arguments and debates. So what is the purpose of paraphrasing in group communication? That is to summarize and restate someone's message to ensure understanding. So paraphrasing or summarizing, in a way. So paraphrasing helps clarify and confirm the intended message, promoting better understanding within the group. In group decision making, what is consensus? A. Unanimous agreement where all members fully support the decision. B. Majority vote with no regard for differing opinions. C. The decision made by the leader without input from others. D. Random selection of an option without discussion. So which is the correct one? In group decision making, what is consensus? Unanimous agreement where all members fully support the decision. How to explain? Consensus involves all group members fully supporting a decision, indicating a high level of agreement and commitment. When non-verbal communication element is often associated with which non-verbal communication element is often associated with credibility and trustworthiness? A. Maintaining eye contact. B. Avoiding all facial expressions. C. Fidgeting and constantly shifting body posture. D. Raising one's voice in conversation. So, which non-verbal communication elements is often associated with credibility and trustworthiness? That is, maintaining eye contact. Maintaining eye contact is often associated with credibility and trustworthiness as it conveys confidence and attentiveness. What is a key advantage of using technology for virtual group communication? What is the key advantage of using technology for virtual group communication? That is online group communication. Through internet we are having a group discussion. That is the idea here. A. It eliminates the need for preparation and planning. B. It fosters stronger face-to-face interactions. C. It allows for geographically dispersed participants to collaborate. That is, in different places at a long distance. That is the idea here. It allows for geographically dispersed participants to collaborate. D. It reduces the importance of clear and concise messages. So the correct answer will be it allows for geographically dispersed participants to collaborate. Technology facilitates virtual group communication by enabling individuals from different locations to work together efficiently. One may be in America, another one may be in Australia, another one in Valanar in Tamil Nadu. Still we can have a group discussion through online. That is the idea. Even though people are at a far away distances, far away places, still we can have group discussion through online. So technology facilitates virtual group communication by enabling individuals from different locations to work together efficiently. Now, effective classroom communication. Good communication in class is really important for learning. It means sharing information and ideas between teachers and students in a way that helps everyone learn better. It is not just about giving information. It is also about making sure everyone understands, works together, and stays interested. Teachers should speak clearly and directly so everyone understands. Being clear helps students understand better, and not giving too much extra information keeps them focused on what is important. Active listening. Active listening is really important when teachers talk to students in class. Teachers need to listen carefully to what students say, including their questions and ideas. When teachers show they understand and respect what students think, it makes the students feel respected and builds trust. This helps students feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and joining discussions in class. Nonverbal communication. Nonverbal signals like the facial expressions and body movements are important in how we communicate. Teachers should be careful with how they use these signals because they can show excitement and interest, making students more likely to join in and engage. So it's very important. Your nonverbal signals that teachers need to be concerned about. Then feedback and encouragement. Giving feedback on time and in a helpful way is really important when learning. Teachers should give feedback that shows what students are good at, points out where they can get better, and gives advice on how to improve. So feedback and encouragement is very important. Saying positive things and cheering students on encourages them to do their best and feel good about themselves, making learning more interesting and making students want to take part more. So positive, encouraging students in a positive way. Then interactive teaching methods. Using interactive teaching methods like group discussions, debates, and role plays, and tech stuff, technological stuff, online stuff, gets students involved. It helps them think critically, be creative, and work together, making class interesting. When students actively take part, they learn better and remember what they learn. Then adaptability. A good teacher in class should be able to adjust to how each student learns. They need to notice and meet the different needs of students and change how they teach. Adapting to how students learn makes sure everyone understands and is interested, and which helps them learn better. I hope you understood this. Adapting to how students learn makes sure everyone understands and is interested, which helps them learn better. Creating a safe and inclusive environment, accepting everyone, that is safe and handicapped or whoever it may be, accepting in the classroom. That is a good classroom environment. Creating a safe and friendly classroom is really important for good communication. When students feel safe to share their ideas without being judged or laughed at, communication gets better. Teachers need to encourage respect, empathy, and understanding so that everyone feels important and listened to in class. The clarity in learning objectives. Starting a lesson with clear learning goals helps students learn better. That's why teachers write lesson plans. Every week they are submitting to the principals. When students know what they need to do and what they will learn, they can pay attention and stay interested. Clear goals also help teachers see how students are doing and change how they teach if necessary. So when there is a need, they will change their style of teaching also. So clarity in learning objectives. Then some of the questions we can discuss. In effective classroom communication, non-verbal cues such as facial expressions and gestures, A, are necessary, B, are distracting to students, C, enhance understanding and engagement, D, should be avoided. So, in effective classroom communication, non-verbal cues such as facial expressions and gestures enhance understanding and engagement, no doubt about it. It complements to the verbal teaching. In other words, non-verbal cues help verbal teaching. Non-verbal cues can enhance communication by providing very sorry, I just switched on something else. Right. So non-verbal cues can enhance communication by providing additional context and helping students understand the message more effectively. What is a potential barrier to effective classroom communication? Potential barrier means a possible difficulty. That is A. Encouraging participation. B. Clear instructions. C. Language barriers. D. Active listening. That is language barriers. Potential barrier, language barriers. Language barriers can hinder effective communication in the classroom, making it essential, important to address language diversity and ensure clarity in communication. Which communication style is most conducive to effective classroom communication? Communication style we are talking about: A. Authoritarian, B. Passive, C. Assertive, D. Indifferent. Assertive, that is commanding at the same time loving. That type of assertion here. An assertive communication style allows for clear expression of ideas while respecting the rights and opinions of others. Firm and loving, that is the idea here. An assertive communication style allows for clear expression of ideas while respecting the rights and opinions of others, fostering an open and conducive classroom environment. To maintain a positive classroom atmosphere, teachers should A. Avoid giving feedback, B. Be authoritative, C. Encourage open dialogue and respect diversity, D. Ignore student questions. So, to maintain a positive classroom atmosphere, a teacher should encourage open dialogue and respect diversity. That is a different background, students from different backgrounds, different lifestyles, different intelligence levels. So that is diversity. So that is the idea. What is the correct answer for this question? Namely, to maintain a positive classroom atmosphere, a teacher should encourage open dialogue and respect diversity. Encouraging open dialogue and respecting diversity helps in creating a positive classroom atmosphere, enhancing communication and understanding among students. Which of the following is an essential aspect of effective written communication in the classroom? Which of the following is an essential aspect of effective written communication in the classroom? A. Using complex vocabulary, B. Clarity and conciseness, C. Overuse of jargon, D. Lengthy paragraphs. That is clarity and conciseness. That is conciseness means short and sweet. We say like that. Very short, at the same time sweet, effective. So clarity and conciseness. Brief. Clear and concise written communication is crucial for effective comprehension and understanding in a classroom setting. During a class discussion, a teacher should A. Dominate the conversation, B. Discourage participation, C. Allow all students to share their thoughts, D. Only listen without engaging. So during a class discussion, a teacher should allow all students to share their thoughts. Allowing every student to share their thoughts promotes active engagement and inclusive classroom communication. What is an essential skill for effective classroom communication? What is an essential skill for effective classroom communication? A. Talking loudly to ensure everyone hears. B. Being flexible and adaptable. C. Avoiding eye contact. D. Controlling all conversations. What is an essential skill for effective classroom communication? That is being flexible and adaptable. So, flexibility and adaptability in communication are essential for responding to diverse student needs and classroom dynamics. In multicultural classroom, effective communication involves A. Fostering a one-size-fits-all approach, B. Ignoring cultural differences, C. Valuing and accommodating diverse perspectives, D. Avoiding diverse curriculum materials. So correct answer will be valuing and accommodating diverse perspectives. Effective communication in a multicultural classroom requires acknowledging and respecting diverse cultural perspectives, promoting an inclusive and enriching learning environment. So, effective communication in a multicultural classroom, other different language groups, nationalities, a multicultural group, isn't it? So, effective communication in a multicultural classroom requires acknowledging and respecting diverse cultural perspectives, promoting an inclusive and enriching learning environment. What is the primary purpose of effective classroom communication? A. To entertain students. B. To engage students in meaningful learning. C. To control and discipline students. D. To keep students quiet. So what's the question? What is the primary purpose of effective classroom communication? That is to engage students in meaningful learning. To engage students in meaningful learning. Effective classroom communication aims to engage students in the learning process, promote understanding, and enhance their educational experience. Which communication skill is crucial, important for active listening in the classroom? A. Talking loudly. B. Interrupting the speaker. C. Asking clarifying questions. D. Daydreaming. So, when communication skill, which communication skill is crucial for active listening? See, when they ask the question, it indicates that they have listened to the class. So, asking clarifying questions. Asking clarifying questions demonstrates active listening and helps students better understand the material. I hope you understood this. Which non-verbal communication cue signal can indicate enthusiasm and engagement in teaching? Which non-verbal communication cue, that is signal, can indicate enthusiasm and engagement in teaching? A. Avoiding eye contact. B. Monotone voice. C. Gestures and facial expressions. D. Slouched posture. Gestures and facial expressions. Gestures and facial expressions can convey enthusiasm and engagement in teaching, making the content more interesting for students. I hope you understood this. In the context of classroom communication, what is scaffolding? In the context of classroom communication, what is scaffolding? A type of furniture in the classroom. B. A teaching method that provides support and guidance to students. C. A type of disciplinary action. D. A method for building strong classroom walls. So what is the question? In the context of classroom communication, what is scaffolding? What is the meaning of the term scaffolding? Scaffolding. A teaching method that provides support and guidance to students. Scaffolding is a teaching technique that offers support to students as they learn and gradually removes that support as they become more independent. This we already discussed in research also, I think in many videos it has come. Scaffolding means a support given to the student, journeying together with the student till they reach a particular intellectual level. After that, withdrawing the support. That is called scaffolding. So scaffolding is a teaching technique that offers support to students as they learn and gradually removes that support as they become more independent. At the time there is no need for the teacher's guidance, they have come to that level, that is the understanding. As they become more independent means they have attained a particular level of intelligence. At that time they may not need the teacher's guidance. So that's the idea here. What is an effective strategy for managing classroom disruptions? What is an effective strategy for managing classroom disruptions? A. Yelling at the disruptive student. B. Ignoring the disruption. C. Addressing the behavior calmly and privately. D. Punishing the entire class. What should be the correct answer? Addressing the behavior calmly and privately. Calmly addressing disruptive behavior privately allows for a constructive resolution and avoids embarrassing the student. So addressing the behavior calmly and privately. Now, what is the benefit of using open-ended questions in the classroom? What is the benefit of using open-ended questions in the classroom? A. They allow for quick answers. B. They limit student responses. C. They encourage critical thinking and discussion. D. They help maintain a controlled classroom environment. So, what is the benefit of using open-ended questions in the classroom? They encourage critical thinking and discussion. So, C is the correct answer. What do you mean by open-ended questions? Whenever you ask how did it happen? Why did you do that? When you ask such a why, how, and that, the student needs to answer in a detailed manner. So that is called the open-ended questions. But these open-ended questions stimulate thinking, discussion, and deeper understanding of the subject. In a way, the students are encouraged to have critical thinking and discussion. That is the idea here. So open-ended questions lead to critical thinking and discussion in the among the students. What is the role of non-verbal communication in classroom management? What is the role of non-verbal communication in classroom management? A. It has no impact on classroom management. B. It helps create a positive classroom environment. C. It should be avoided as it may confuse students, or it is solely the responsibility of the students. What is the role of non-verbal communication in classroom management? That is, it helps create a positive classroom environment. Non-verbal communication such as body language and facial expressions contributes to a positive classroom atmosphere and can influence student behavior. So I hope you understood this. Which of the following is a barrier to effective classroom communication? A. Active listening. B. Clear and concise language. C. Diverse student backgrounds. D. Supportive learning materials. So correct answer will be diverse student backgrounds. Diverse student backgrounds can sometimes present challenges in communication, but effective teachers adapt their communication to reach all students effectively. What is the first step in the listening process? A. Sensing. B. Interpreting. C. Evaluating. D. Responding. What is the first step in the listening process? That is sensing. Sensing involves receiving auditory signals, and it is the initial step in the listening process. Sensing involves receiving auditory signals, and it is the initial step in the listening process. Which listening style involves providing emotional support to the speaker? Which listening style involves providing emotional support to the speaker? A. Empathetic listening. B. Critical listening. C. Appreciative listening. D. Discriminative listening. So empathetic listening. It provides emotional support to the speaker. Empathetic listening involves understanding and sharing the feelings of the speaker, providing emotional support. Next question, which barrier to effective listening relates to preconceived notions and biases? Which barrier to effective listening relates to preconceived notions and biases, prejudice in other words? A. Stereotyping. B. Noise interference. C. Receiver's bias. D. Filtering. So which is the barrier that relates to preconceived notions, prejudices and biases? That is stereotyping. Stereotyping involves making assumptions or judgments about others based on preconceived ideas or beliefs, hindering effective listening. Sometimes we have heard people saying, people from this state are dirty, people from this state are always clean. They are very clean because they have more rivers, and others in a particular state people are not so clean because there is no water to drink even. Sometimes it is possible, but stereotyping statements are there all over India, all over the world even. So normally the England people, British people will be very calm, quiet, serene. Even when they speak so calmly. So it's all stereotyped, not necessarily always it happens, but general understanding we have, yes. Likewise, we have stereotyped statements. Stereotyping involves making assumptions or judgment about others based on preconceived ideas or beliefs, hindering effective listening. Which type of listening focuses on understanding the main ideas and supporting details? Which type of listening focuses on understanding the main ideas and supporting details? A. Comprehensive listening. B. Discriminative listening. C. Critical listening. D. Appreciative listening. What do you mean by comprehensive? Comprehensive listening is the right answer here because it focuses on understanding the main ideas and supporting details. Comprehensive listening. Comprehensive listening aims to understand the main ideas and the supporting details of the message being communicated. I hope you understood this. Now, selective listening is characterized by what? Selective listening. A. Focusing on certain parts of the message while ignoring others. B. Providing genuine feedback to the speaker. C. Remaining neutral during the conversation. D. Listening to every detail attentively. So, among the four, which is the right one? That is focusing on certain parts of the message while ignoring others. Yes, selective listening is characterized by focusing on certain parts of the message while ignoring others. What is needed, you are not interested in other ideas. That is the meaning. Selective listening. You focus your attention only on some points, not all the points. So, selective listening involves paying attention to specific elements of the message while disregarding others, omitting others. Certain messages are omitted, only some messages are taken. That is called selective listening. Pseudo listening is a form of what? Pseudo listening is a pretend to listen. Pseudo means pretending as if you are listening. That is called pseudo listening. Pseudo listening is a form of A. Pretending to listen while not paying attention. B. Providing honest feedback to the speaker. C. Active engagement in the conversation. D. Listening with a genuine interest. So, which is the right one? Pseudo listening is a form of pretending to listen while not paying attention. So, pseudo listening refers to the act of pretending to listen when one is not actually attentive to the speaker. Which type of listening involves evaluating and analyzing the information presented? Which type of listening involves evaluating and analyzing the information presented? A. Critical listening. B. Sympathetic listening. C. Appreciative listening. D. Discriminative listening. So, which is the right one? Critical listening. Why? Critical listening involves assessing, analyzing, and evaluating the information presented to form a judgment or opinion about it. So, critical listening involves assessing, analyzing, and evaluating the information presented to form a judgment or opinion about it. What is the primary goal of active listening in communication? A. To dominate the conversation. B. To offer unsolicited advice. C. To understand and empathize with the speaker. D. To interrupt and express your own opinions. That is, to offer unsolicited advice means you are not asking for advice, simply given. That is called unsolicited advice. So, which is the right one here? That is C. To understand and empathize with the speaker. So what is the primary goal of active listening in communication? To understand and empathize with the speaker, to feel one with the speaker. That is called empathizing. You go along with the speaker to understand and empathize with the speaker. Active listening focuses on comprehending the speaker's perspective and emotions, not on dominating the conversation or offering unasked advice or unsolicited advice. It was not asked for, you are giving the advice. That's called unsolicited advice. Which listening skill involves repeating or paraphrasing the speaker's words to demonstrate understanding. Which listening skill involves repeating or paraphrasing the speaker's words to demonstrate understanding? A. Selective listening. B. Empathetic listening. C. Reflective listening. D. Competitive listening. That is reflective listening. Yes. So what is the idea here? Which listening skill involves repeating or paraphrasing the speaker's words to demonstrate understanding. So reflective listening involves repeating or paraphrasing what the speaker said to confirm understanding and show empathy. See, someone speaks, another one, summarizes what he speaks. If that is the case, that is called reflective listening. See, two people are there. One person speaks, another person listens. The person who is listening to the speaker summarizes what the speaker has said. Do you understand what is it? Summarizing, summarizing the speech. So then it is called reflective listening. So reflective listening involves repeating or paraphrasing what the speaker said to confirm understanding and show empathy, oneness with the speaker. What is the term for the practice of focusing on specific parts of a message while ignoring the text? Already we have said that. A. Active listening. B. Selective listening. C. Empathetic listening. D. Reflective listening. That is selective listening. Selective listening is when you concentrate on certain parts of a message while disregarding other points. When you listen with the intent to evaluate or judge, you are engaged in what? When you listen with the intent to evaluate or judge, you are engaged in which type of listening? A. Sympathetic listening. B. Critical listening. C. Passive listening. D. Selective listening. That is critical listening. So critical listening involves evaluating or judging the information being presented. Critical listening involves evaluating or judging the information being presented. Non-verbal cues such as nodding, maintaining eye contact, and using facial expressions are essential components of A. Discriminative listening, B. Selective listening, C. Active listening, D. Reflective listening. Non-verbal cues such as nodding, maintaining eye contact, and using facial expressions are essential components of which type of listening? That is active listening. Active listening involves non-verbal cues that show engagement and understanding. In a communication context, para-language refers to what? Para-language. In a communication context, para-language refers to what? A. Written communication. B. Non-verbal vocal elements like tone, pitch and speed. C. Body language. C. Cultural differences in communication styles. So correct answer will be non-verbal vocal elements like tone, pitch and speed. So that is the idea, no? Para-language means non-verbal vocal elements like tone, pitch and speed. Now sometimes we raise our voice, sometimes we make it very slow, sometimes we say some sounds we make. Without the word we make some sounds. There are non-verbal vocal elements. Yeah, you are saying, no? Yes, yeah, like that, no? So it's a tone, pitch and speed. Sometimes in order to make the point very clear, he makes the statement very slow. A set, what is a set? You are just speaking very speedily, all of a sudden you make it very slow. In a low voice you say, or or in a high pitch also you are saying. Normally you are speaking, about a set you are teaching, and then you say, hello dear students, what is a set? A set is a group of well-defined objects. So all of a sudden you raise your voice and then you make it very slow. All these things come under this one, paralanguage. Non-verbal vocal elements like tone, pitch and speed. Paralanguage includes vocal elements that convey meaning beyond the words spoken. Paralanguage includes vocal elements that convey meaning beyond the words spoken. What is the term for listening with the goal of resolving conflicts or finding solutions to problems? What is the term for listening with the goal of resolving conflicts or finding solutions to problems? A. Discriminative listening. B. Therapeutic listening. C. Problem solving listening. D. Active listening. So, what is the term for listening with the goal of resolving conflicts? That is problem solving listening. Problem solving listening aims to resolve conflicts and find solutions, making it distinct from other listening styles. Okay, I hope you understood this. Problem solving listening aims to resolve problems. Which element of effective communication refers to the choice and arrangement of words to convey a message effectively? Which element of effective communication refers to the choice and arrangement of words to convey a message effectively? A. Encoding, B. Decoding, C. Language, D. Listening. I hope you understood the question. Which element of effective communication refers to the choice and arrangement of words? Of course, it is related to language. No? So, language should be the correct one. How? Language selection and arrangement are essential to ensure that the message is communicated accurately and clearly. So, the language selection and arrangement are very essential to ensure that the message is communicated accurately and clearly. Which element of effective communication involves considering the cultural and social background of the audience to ensure the message is appropriately tailored suited for them, in other words. So, which element of effective communication involves considering the cultural and social background? A. Context, B. Audience analysis, C. Channel, D. Noise. Of course, audience analysis here, so that is the thing, no? Audience analysis, because cultural, social background means that is nothing but audience analysis. Understanding the audience background helps in crafting a message, in giving a message that is relevant and relatable to them, improving communication effectiveness. Which element of effective communication encompasses the physical and psychological environment in which communication occurs? Which element of effective communication encompasses the physical and psychological environment in which communication occurs? A. Noise, B. Medium, C. Context, D. Encoding. That is context. Context includes the surroundings and circumstances that influence the way a message is perceived and interpreted. I hope you understood this. So, context includes the surroundings and circumstances that influence the way a message is perceived and interpreted. Which element of effective communication focuses on the credibility, knowledge and trustworthiness of the sender? Which element of effective communication focuses on the credibility, knowledge and trustworthiness of the sender? A. Channel, B. Source, C. Receiver, D. Noise. That is source. Which element of effective communication focuses on the credibility? That is the source means sender. Source is sender. That is the idea here. The credibility and reliability of the sender significantly influence the reception and interpretation of the message by the receiver. See, a reliable person, a credible person, can give effective message, in other words. So the receiver will be able to get the message so nicely if the person is credible and reliable. That is the understanding here. Which element of effective communication involves any interference or disturbance that disrupts the communication process? Which element of effective communication involves any interference or disturbance that disrupts the communication process? I think that is noise, no? Encoding, decoding, noise medium, that is noise. Noise can be external or internal disturbance and hampers the clarity and effectiveness of the communication process by introducing distractions or barriers. For an example, in the classroom, the class is going on, the teacher is teaching the students, students are listening to it. All of a sudden there is a music, bombarding of music from outside. Some beautiful, some melodious film songs are broadcast, and it reaches the ears of the students. Certainly it will be a distraction. It will be a disturbance for their listening. So this is called a noise. So noise can be external, sometimes internal. The person may be having some problems, psychological problems, so he will not be listening to the teacher. He will be worrying about something. Something is going on, daydreaming, all these things. That's the internal problem. So noise can be external or internal and hampers the clarity and effectiveness of the communication process by introducing distractions or barriers. Next one, effective communication in an intercultural context. Why effective communication between different cultures matters? Because the world is so connected now. People from different cultures often meet at work, school, and social events. So it is important to communicate well, to build good relationships and work together. So that is why effective communication we need. So how to prevent misunderstandings? Preventing misunderstandings. Misunderstandings can happen because people speak differently, express themselves differently, use body language differently, and follow different cultural rules. Good communication between different cultures can make misunderstandings less likely, make interactions smoother, and prevent conflicts. Good communication will make the communication very smooth. That is the idea here. Enhanced business success. Enhanced business success. For multinational corporations and international businesses, understanding and effectively communicating with clients, partners, and employees from different cultural backgrounds is crucial for success. Miscommunication can lead to lost opportunities, damaged relationships, and financial losses. Of course, you must understand this one. Enhanced business success. Miscommunication can lead to lost opportunities, damaged relationships, and financial losses. Then promoting diversity and inclusion. A workplace with people from different backgrounds is better at coming up with new ideas and getting things done. For promoting diversity and inclusion also, we need this one. We need to prevent misunderstandings. Yes. A workplace with people from different backgrounds is better at coming up with new ideas and getting things done. When everyone can communicate well, despite their cultural differences, it makes everyone feel important and respected, which helps everyone work together better and be more creative. I hope you understood this. If everyone can communicate well, work becomes very nice. In other words, they are able to become creative, productive, fruitful, etc., etc. So good communication is essential that way, especially in intercultural situations. Challenges in intercultural communication. Some very important barriers are language barriers. People from different nationalities, from different states, from different family backgrounds, sometimes language barriers. Communication can be hard when people speak different languages. It is important to translate messages correctly and know the cultural meanings to communicate well between different cultures. So that is language barriers. Cultural norms and values. Various cultures have different ways of doing things and communicating. It is important to respect and understand these differences to communicate well and build good relationships. Cultural norms and values. So various cultures have different ways of doing things and communicating. So it is important to respect and understand these differences to communicate well and build good relationships. Nonverbal communication. Nonverbal cues such as gestures, facial expressions, and body language can have different meanings in various cultures. Misinterpretation of these cues can lead to misunderstandings. Stereotypes and prejudices. Stereotypes and prejudices. Preconceived notions, stereotypes, and prejudices about other cultures can hinder effective communication and perpetuate biases, prejudices. Overcoming these biases is essential for fostering intercultural understanding. Strategies for enhancing intercultural communication. Cultural sensitivity training. Teaching people about different cultures, how they talk and do things, can help them understand and respect each other better. Active listening and empathy. Encouraging active listening and demonstrating empathy towards others' perspectives fosters understanding and trust regardless of cultural differences. Then clarification and feedback. Encouraging people to ask questions and give their thoughts ensure that everyone understands the message correctly no matter where they are from. Adaptability and flexibility. Being able to change how you communicate depending on the situation and culture helps you have good and polite conversations. Adaptability and flexibility. Being able to change how you communicate depending on the situation and culture helps you have good and polite conversations. Benefits of effective intercultural communication. Benefits of effective intercultural communication. It is harmonious relationships happen because of good communication. Happy relationships. Good communication between people from different cultures helps them get along better and trust each other, working well together and treating each other with respect. A happy moment. Conflict resolution. Respecting how people from different cultures do things helps solve problems better, making solutions faster and keeping relationships calm. So it helps in conflict resolution. Enhanced collaboration and innovation. Good communication helps people work together even if they see things differently, making teams more creative and innovative. Enhanced collaboration and innovation. Then personal growth and enrichment. Talking to people from different cultures helps you learn and grow, understand different cultures better, and know more about how diverse people can be. So personal growth and enrichment. Now some questions we can discuss on this particular subheading. What is a crucial step in effective intercultural communication? What is a crucial step? A. Understanding cultural norms. B. Presuming cultural uniformity. C. Ignoring cultural differences. D. Avoiding communication altogether. What is the question again? What is a crucial step, important step in effective intercultural communication? Understanding cultural norms. Understanding the cultural norms and values of the individuals or groups you are communicating with is vital for effective intercultural communication. Understanding the cultural norms and values of the individuals or groups you are communicating with is important, vital for effective intercultural communication. This helps in adapting your communication style appropriately, properly, relevantly. Which of the following is a barrier to effective intercultural communication? Which of the following is a barrier to effective intercultural communication? A. Language diversity. B. Cultural empathy. C. Open-mindedness. D. Active listening. That is language diversity. Language diversity can be a barrier to effective intercultural communication as differences in language can lead to misunderstandings and interpretations. What is a key aspect of non-verbal communication in an intercultural context? What is a key aspect of non-verbal communication in an intercultural context? A. Universality. B. Cultural insensitivity, C. Ethnocentrism, D. Assimilation, that is universality. What is a key aspect of non-verbal communication in an intercultural context? A. Universality, B. Cultural insensitivity, C. Ethnocentrism, D. Assimilation, that is universality. Non-verbal communication often has a universal aspect, but it is crucial to understand and respect cultural differences in non-verbal cues and expressions. Non-verbal communication often has universal aspects. In intercultural communication, what is an essential skill for effective communication? In intercultural communication, what is an essential skill for effective communication? A. Empathy, B. Monolingualism, C. Ethnocentrism, D. Stereotyping. That is empathy. Empathy is crucial for understanding others' perspectives and feelings, which is vital in intercultural communication to avoid misunderstandings and conflicts. So empathy is crucial for understanding other people's views, perspectives and feelings. Which approach is effective in handling conflicts in an intercultural setting? Which approach is effective in handling conflicts in intercultural setting? A. Collaborative approach, B. Ethnocentric approach, C. Avoidance approach, D. Directive approach. Collaborative approach. The collaborative approach involves working together to find a solution that satisfies the concerns of both parties and is effective in intercultural conflict resolution. So the collaborative approach. Next one. What is a strategy for enhancing intercultural communication? What is a strategy for enhancing intercultural communication? A. Cross-cultural training, B. Cultural isolation, C. Cultural imposition, D. Stereotyping. So what is the correct answer? Cross-cultural training. Cross-cultural training helps individuals to develop the knowledge and skills necessary to communicate effectively in diverse cultural contexts. Cross-cultural training helps individuals develop the knowledge and skills necessary to communicate effectively in diverse cultural contexts. In intercultural communication, what should be avoided to prevent misunderstandings? A. Assuming cultural stereotypes, B. Encouraging cultural adaptation, C. Respecting cultural differences, D. Practicing active listening. So in intercultural communication, what should be avoided to prevent misunderstandings? Assuming cultural stereotypes. Assuming cultural stereotypes can lead to inaccurate assumptions about individuals or groups and hinder effective intercultural communication. So assuming cultural stereotypes can lead to inaccurate assumptions about individuals or groups. Wrong judgment, in other words. What is an essential trait for an effective intercultural communicator? What is an essential trait for an effective intercultural communicator? A. Flexibility, B. Rigidity, C. Ethnocentrism, D. Cultural bias. Flexibility. Flexibility allows an individual to adapt their communication style and behavior to effectively interact with the individuals from different cultures. Flexibility, give and take, not a stony-hearted attitude. Flexible, changeable, that is the idea. Flexibility allows an individual to adapt their communication style and behavior to effectively interact with the individuals from different cultures. Which aspect is critical for successful intercultural negotiation? Which aspect is critical for successful intercultural negotiation? A. Cultural sensitivity, B. Cultural imposition, C. Assuming homogeneity, D. Dominance and control. Which aspect is critical for successful intercultural negotiation? That is cultural sensitivity. Cultural sensitivity is vital for successful intercultural negotiation as it involves understanding and respecting cultural differences to reach mutually beneficial agreements. So cultural sensitivity is very important for successful intercultural negotiation as it involves understanding and respecting cultural differences to reach mutually beneficial agreements. What is the primary purpose of effective communication in an intercultural context? What is the primary purpose of effective communication in an intercultural context? A. To demonstrate authority. B. To foster mutual understanding. C. To impose one's culture on others. D. To showcase one's language skills. So what is the primary purpose of effective communication in an intercultural context? That is to foster mutual understanding. Effective communication in an intercultural context, aims to foster mutual understanding and bridge cultural differences, not to impose one's culture or showcase language skills. No. So, effective communication in intercultural context aims to foster mutual understanding and bridge cultural differences. Which of the following is a key barrier, obstacle to intercultural communication? A. Stereotyping. B. Speaking too slowly. C. Using formal language. D. Avoiding eye contact. That is A. Stereotyping can lead to miscommunication and misunderstanding in intercultural interactions. Which communication channel is considered most effective for conveying emotions and building rapport in an intercultural context? Which communication channel is considered most effective for conveying emotions and building rapport in an intercultural context? A. Written communication. B. Non-verbal communication. C. Telepathic communication. D. Formal communication. That is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication such as body language and facial expressions is crucial for conveying emotions. For conveying emotions, non-verbal communication is very essential. So, it builds a rapport in intercultural communication. So, non-verbal communication such as body language, facial expressions is crucial for conveying emotions and building a rapport, building support in intercultural communication, building a rapport in intercultural communication. When dealing with intercultural conflict, what approach encourages seeking common ground and compromise? A. Avoidance. B. Accommodation. C. Competition. D. Compromise. So, when dealing with intercultural conflict, what approach encourages seeking common ground and compromise? That is compromise. The compromise approach in intercultural conflict resolution seeks a common ground and encourages compromise to reach a mutually satisfactory solution. What is the term for the belief that one's own culture is superior to others and should be the standard for evaluation? What is the term for the belief that one's own culture is superior to others and should be the standard for evaluation? A. Cultural adaptation. B. Ethnocentrism. C. Multiculturalism. C. Cultural relativism. Okay, so, what is the term? The belief that one's own culture is superior to others. And which term indicates that? That is ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism refers to the belief that one's own culture is superior and should be the standard for evaluating other cultures. This can affect effective intercultural communication. I hope you understood this. Ethnocentrism means what? My own culture is superior. So, through my own culture, I will be evaluating other cultures. Because I am at the top, something like that. Ethnocentrism refers to the belief that one's own culture is superior and should be the standard for evaluating other cultures, which can hinder effective intercultural communication. Which communication characteristic emphasizes the need for precision and accuracy in conveying messages? Which communication characteristic emphasizes the need for precision, correctness, precision, shortness, brief, precision and accuracy in conveying messages? A. Verbal. B. Non-verbal. C. Explicit. D. Informal. Explicit. Explicit communication involves clear and specific messages, leaving no room for misunderstanding and misinterpretation. Explicit communication means, communicating in a detailed manner. No, explicit communication. In communication, what does encoding refer to? In communication, what does encoding refer to? A. Putting a message into a suitable form for transmission. B. Deciphering a message upon reception. C. Generating feedback after understanding a message. D. Ignoring a message intentionally. So the correct answer will be putting a message into a suitable form for transmission. Encoding is the process of converting thoughts, ideas and information into a form that can be easily conveyed to the intended receiver. Encoding is the process of converting thoughts, ideas or information into a form that can be easily conveyed to the intended receiver. What type of communication occurs within an individual's mind and involves self-reflection and contemplation? Which type of communication occurs within an individual's mind and involves self-reflections? We already seen that interpersonal communication, intrapersonal communication. So there is intrapersonal communication, intrapersonal communication that involves self-reflection. I am talking to myself. I am feeling myself. I am just showing in the map where Mumbai is. So that's self-reflection and contemplation. So that is the idea here. Intrapersonal communication. That is called intrapersonal communication. Talking to oneself. So intrapersonal communication involves internal dialogue, self-analysis and reflection happening within an individual's mind. Which of the following is not a fundamental characteristic of communication? Which of the following is not a fundamental characteristic of communication? A. Sender and receiver. B. Feedback. C. Noise. D. Monologue. Monologue refers to a one-sided conversation, while communication typically involves both a sender and a receiver. Monologue means a one-sided conversation, right? A dialogue means both, two persons involved in conversation. Dialogue, monologue. Monologue refers to a one-sided conversation, while communication typically involves both a sender and a receiver. What is the term for the non-verbal cues and signals that accompany spoken language, such as body language and facial expressions? What is the term for the non-verbal cues and signals that accompany spoken language, such as body language and facial expressions? A. Paralanguage. B. Monologue. C. Encoding. D. Jargon. Paralanguage. Non-verbal cues and signals that accompany spoken. Along with the spoken language, you are using this non-verbal cues. That is the idea here. Paralanguage. Paralanguage refers to the non-verbal elements of communication that convey additional meaning beyond words. Sometimes you make it slow, make it fast, modulation of voice, change of voice, you all on a sudden low pitch, high pitch. All these come under paralanguage. Paralanguage refers to the non-verbal elements of communication that convey additional meaning beyond words. Which of the following is an example of external noise in the communication process? Which of the following is an example of external noise in the communication process? A. Misinterpretation of a message. B. An internal emotional state. C. A loud nearby construction site. D. An engaged listener. Certainly among these you would have example of external noise, that is loud nearby construction site. I hope you understood this, because it comes from outside. Other things are internal, misinterpretation of message and internal emotional state and engagement, all within the student's mind. Whereas this what a loud nearby construction site is external, external. But a misinterpretation of a message, internal emotional state, engaged listener can be, internal noise. External noise means it's something coming from outside. So external noise refers to physical and environmental distractions that disrupt the communication process. Which communication model includes the elements of center, message, receiver, feedback and noise, demonstrating the dynamic nature of communication? Which communication model includes the elements of center, message, receiver, feedback and noise, demonstrating the dynamic nature of communication? A. Linear model, B. Transactional model, C. Interactional model, D. Small group model. So this comes under transactional model. Why? The transactional model of communication recognizes that communication is a dynamic process with multiple elements. So the dynamic process means ever growthful, always growing. So the transactional model of communication recognizes that communication is a dynamic process with multiple elements. So this is very interesting thing, because elements of center, message, receiver, feedback, noise, all these will come under dynamic nature of communication. That's called a transactional model. So communication, some models and importance. We'll just study on models and importance some questions. What are communication models? Communication models provide a framework for understanding how communication occurs and the elements involved in the process. Communication models provide a framework for understanding how communication occurs and the elements involved in the process. Various communication models have been proposed over the years. Some of the fundamental models we are giving here. Linear model. The linear model of communication depicts communication as a one-way process where a sender transmits a message to a receiver through a channel. The model includes the sender, message, channel, receiver and noise. So linear model depicts communication as a one-way process. And once and for all get it fixed in the mind. A linear model of communication portrays or depicts communication as a one-way process. Interactive model. The interactive model of communication adds feedback to the linear model, allowing the receiver to respond to the sender's message. Feedback helps in understanding the effectiveness of communication. Interactive model. Of course, when the receiver doesn't understand, it gives the feedback. So that is the interactive model. Then transactional model. The transactional model of communication views communication as a dynamic and continuous process where both the sender and the receiver simultaneously send and receive messages. That is called a transactional model. It emphasizes the importance of context, cultural differences and shared meanings in communication. So transactional model views communication as a dynamic and continuous process where both the sender and the receiver simultaneously send and receive messages. It emphasizes the importance of context, cultural differences and shared meanings in communication. Shannon-Weaver model of communication. Shannon-Weaver model of communication. It has been developed by Claude Shannon and Warren Weaver. This model represents communication as a series of steps involving an information source, a transmitter, a channel, a receiver and a destination. So this is called Claude Shannon-Warren Weaver or Shannon-Weaver model. This model represents communication as a series of steps involving an information source, a transmitter, a channel, a receiver and a destination. Berlow's SMCR model of communication. Berlow's SMCR. Developed by David K. Perlow, this model emphasizes the source, message, channel and receiver, highlighting the importance of encoding and decoding in the communication process. SMCR, source, message, channel and receiver. It highlights the importance of encoding and decoding in the communication process. Right. In the Shannon-Weaver model, what does noise refer to? In the Shannon-Weaver model, what does noise refer to? A, physical disturbance in the environment. B, misinterpretation by the receiver. C, transmission medium. D, message content. In Shannon-Weaver model, what does noise refer to? That is physical disturbance in the environment. In the Shannon-Weaver model, noise represents any interference that affects the transmission of the message. So that is noise according to Shannon-Weaver model. Noise represents any interference that affects the transmission of the message. Which communication model emphasizes feedback from the receiver to the sender? Which communication model emphasizes feedback from the receiver to the sender? A, linear model. B, transactional model. C, interactive model. C, circular model. D, circular model. Which communication model emphasizes feedback from the receiver to the sender? That is transactional model. The transactional model highlights the dynamic nature of communication, including feedback loops between sender and receiver. Which type of communication occurs within an organization among employees and departments? Which type of communication occurs within an organization among employees and departments? A, intrapersonal communication. B, interpersonal communication. C, vertical communication. D, public communication. That is among the four, which is the right one, vertical communication. Vertical communication takes place between different levels of the organizational hierarchy. So, which type of communication occurs within an organization among employees and departments? That is hierarchical one. That is vertical communication. Vertical communication takes place between different levels of the organizational hierarchy. Principal, HODs, professors, teachers, etc. Students, etc. So, what is the primary purpose of downward communication in an organization? What is the primary purpose of downward? From top to down, from above to below, from the principal to the student. What is the primary purpose of downward communication in an organization? Just see for yourself the four options. To transmit instruction and information to subordinates, to share information between colleagues, to discuss the organizational strategy. Of course, by this time you would have guessed, to transmit instructions and information to subordinates from the top to the bottom. So, normally the principal gives instructions to the HODs. HODs gives instruction to the professors. Professors give instruction to the students, like that, to transmit instruction and information to subordinates. So, downward communication involves conveying instructions, policies and information from higher levels to lower levels in an organization. The SMCR model of communication stands for what? SMCR. See for yourself, SMCR. That is sender, message, channel, receiver. SMCR. Sender, message, channel, receiver. The SMCR model outlines the key components of the communication process. Sender, message, channel, receiver. What is effective communication crucial in the workplace? What is effective communication crucial in the workplace? That is, it enhances organizational efficiency and productivity. So that is the idea here. Effective communication crucial in the workplace. Why? Because it enhances organizational efficiency and productivity. Effective communication in the workplace is essential for optimizing, maximizing operations, collaboration, and achieving organizational goals. Which communication model involves a sender, message, channel, receiver, and feedback loop? Which communication model? That is a transactional communication model. The transactional communication model recognizes the dynamic nature of communication with the feedback loops between sender and receiver. In interpersonal communication, what does encoding refer to? That is transmitting a message, passing a message from sender to the receiver, transmitting a message. Encoding is the process of converting thoughts and ideas into a message that can be transmitted to a receiver. Which communication method is best suited for conveying complex technical information to a large audience? Which communication method is best suited for conveying complex technical information to a larger audience? That is a written communication. Written communication allows for the precise, detailed presentation of complex technical information to a broad audience. I hope you understand this. Which type of communication is characterized by formal language, structured rules, and a hierarchical structure of information flow within an organization? So, which type of communication is characterized by formal language, structured rules, and a hierarchical structure of information flow within an organization? Downward communication. Downward communication flows from higher level management to lower level employees and typically formal in nature. We already explained that. Which of the following is an advantage of using visual aids in presentations? Which of the following is an advantage of using visual aids in presentations? Just see for yourself all the four options. That is increased audience engagement. That is the benefit of visual aids. Visual aids such as charts and graphs can make presentations more engaging and help the audience understand complex information, difficult information, abstract information. What is the term for the unauthorized or informal spreading of information within an organization? Unauthorized or informal spreading. Like, talking ill of others or talking about the managers in a negative manner, like that. So, unauthorized or informal spreading of information. Formal communication, lateral communication, grapevine communication, downward communication. That is grapevine communication. Very important one. The grapevine communication is an informal communication network that often spreads rumors or unofficial information within an organization. Grapevine communication. Which communication style focuses on self-expression and personal needs? Which communication style focuses on self-expression and personal needs? That is assertive. The assertive communication style involves expressing oneself while respecting others' needs and rights. So that is the idea here. The assertive communication style involves expressing oneself while respecting others' needs and rights. Which type of communication occurs within a small, informal group of people? Which type of communication occurs within a small, informal group of people? That is interpersonal. Interpersonal communication involves interaction within small, informal groups. So making B the correct answer, of course. Interpersonal. Of course, you understood. Interpersonal communication involves interaction within small, informal groups. What is an advantage of verbal communication over written communication? Verbal communication over written. So, written communication, what is an advantage of verbal communication over written communication? See, allows for immediate feedback. In written document we cannot do that, but while we are speaking, we can have immediate feedback, whether we understood or not, whether we are saying the right thing or not. As we are speaking, we will get the feedback. So allows for immediate feedback. So that is the advantage of verbal communication. But in written communication, it is not possible. No, it takes a longer time to write to another person and get the doubts clarified. All these things, it takes a lot of time. So whereas this one, verbal communication very easy, allows for immediate feedback. Verbal communication allows for instant feedback, facilitating quicker and more interactive exchanges, making option B the correct answer. Which communication barrier is related to language differences? Which communication barrier is related to language differences? A. Physical barriers, B. Psychological barriers, C. Semantic barriers, D. Cultural barriers. Semantic barriers. That is, semantic barriers are related to language differences or misunderstandings, making option C the correct one. Semantic barriers about the language, that is, semantic barriers are related to the language problems, right? That is the idea here. Language differences or misunderstandings among the language groups. Which of the following communication barriers are related to the use of complex words and jargon? Which of the following communication barriers is related to the use of complex words and jargon? It is semantic noise. Semantic noise. Semantic noise occurs when words or language used are not understood due to complexity or jargon, making option B the correct answer. Semantic noise occurs when words or language used are not understood due to complexity or jargon. Which type of verbal communication involves speaking without prior preparation or rehearsal? Which type of verbal communication involves speaking without previous preparation or rehearsal? There is a particular word, extemporaneous. That is extemporaneous, impromptu, scripted, mediated. So, which type of verbal communication involves speaking without prior preparation or rehearsal? That is impromptu. Impromptu. These are words clearly. Extemporaneous, impromptu, scripted, mediated. Impromptu is the correct answer here because impromptu communication is done spontaneously without previous preparation, as mentioned in option B. Impromptu communication. At the instant you are speaking, spontaneously without any preparation. That is called impromptu communication. Each element of verbal communication refers to the language, grammar, and vocabulary used in the conversation. Which element of verbal communication refers to the language, grammar, and vocabulary used in a conversation? That is the paralanguage, kinesics, proxemics, linguistics. Linguistics deals with the language and its structure. So that is the idea here. So which element of verbal communication refers to the language, grammar, vocabulary? That is linguistics. Linguistics, yes. Linguistics deals with the language and its structure as indicated in option D. What is the primary purpose of feedback in verbal communication? What is the primary purpose of feedback in verbal communication? That is to acknowledge and respond to the message. That is the primary purpose of feedback in verbal communication. That is to acknowledge and respond to the message. Feedback in communication is meant to acknowledge and respond to the message. That is the idea here. In the context of verbal communication, what is code switching? In the context of verbal communication, what is code switching? There is a concept called code switching, changing the code. What does this mean? That is shifting between different languages or dialect. You are speaking one language, all of a sudden you resort to another language. you change the language and then speak. So shifting between different languages or dialects, that is called a code switching. It's a particular technical term used in communication studies. Shifting between different languages or dialects, that is called code switching. Code switching involves moving between different languages or dialects during communication, as mentioned in option C, that is shifting between different languages or dialects. What does a clenched fist typically indicate in non-verbal communication? Clenched fist, like this. What does a clenched fist typically indicate in non-verbal communication? That is readiness or determination. By all means I will do that. Like that. So the readiness or determination. A clenched fist often signals a determination, readiness for action, or a desire to assert control over a situation. A desire to assert means make it sure, to assert control over a situation. Which facial expression is universally associated with happiness across cultures? Which facial expression is universally associated with happiness across cultures? That is smiling. Smiling is a universally recognized facial expression associated with happiness and positive emotions. Smiling is a universally recognized facial expression associated with happiness and positive emotions. What does a leaning forward during a conversation generally indicate in non-verbal communication? Leaning forward, not just leaning towards the person. Leaning forward during a conversation generally indicate in non-verbal communication. That is interest and engagement. Leaning forward signifies active engagement and interest in the conversation or topic being discussed. Which proxemics zone represents the intimate space in non-verbal communication? Proxemics means, it is related to the place, how far you are standing, are you giving space, before another person, like all these things. Proxemics means something connected with the space. Suppose if you are a good friend, if somebody is a good friend of yours, you will be standing very close to him. The gap will not be so much, because that is a proxemics. That shows that intimate space. So, what is the intimate space then? 0 to 18 inches. The intimate space characterized by close proximity is typically within 0 to 18 inches and is reserved for very close relationships. What does mirroring in non-verbal communication often suggest? What does mirroring in non-verbal communication often suggest? It is a rapport and connection. Mirroring, where one person subconsciously imitates the non-verbal behaviors of another, indicates a sense of rapport and connection. Mirroring, where one person subconsciously imitates the non-verbal behavior of another, indicates a sense of rapport and connection. Which non-verbal cue is associated with a lack of confidence or nervousness? Which non-verbal cue is associated with a lack of confidence or nervousness? So that is avoiding eye contact. Avoiding eye contact often indicates a nervousness or a lack of confidence in a social situation. Avoiding eye contact often indicates nervousness or a lack of confidence in a social situation. Which non-verbal cue is often used to convey disagreement or skepticism? Which non-verbal cue is often used to convey disagreement or skepticism? That is crossed arms, like this, crossed arms. Crossing arms is a non-verbal gesture often associated with defensiveness, disagreement or skepticism. Which non-verbal cue is associated with someone being closed off or defensive? Which non-verbal cue is associated with someone being closed off or defensive? That is causing slouching. Slouching typically indicates a closed off or defensive posture, suggesting discomfort or like this. No, suppose we say like this: slouching, hunched back. So it indicates a closed off or defensive posture, suggesting discomfort or lack of openness. What does excessive blinking or rapid eye movement suggest in non-verbal communication? What does excessive blinking or rapid eye movement suggest in non-verbal communication? That is nervousness or discomfort. Often you are opening and closing the eyes too speedily. Sometimes in a normal speed is there, yes, that is given by God. But suppose unnecessarily if you are opening and closing the eyelids, then it is nervousness or discomfort. That is called blinking, excessive blinking or rapid eye. Excessive blinking or rapid eye movement often indicates nervousness, discomfort or anxiety in a given situation. What is the term for the study of body language and facial expressions in non-verbal communication? What is the term for the study of body language and facial expressions in non-verbal communication? Semiotics, haptics, chronemics, kinesics. Kinesics is the study of body language and facial expression in non-verbal communication. Kinesics is the study of body language and facial expression in non-verbal communication. Of course, there are four given: haptics, chronemics, kinesics, semiotics. You must know the meaning of it. Suppose it is not given in the question. What you can do is that take a semiotics. Certainly it is connected with communication. So what is the meaning of it? Get to know from the internet. Put what is semiotics in communication. Put it in the bar, Google bar. You will get the answer. So likewise you have to study also. Now we are talking about kinesics. They may be talking about haptics or semiotics in the next question paper. So we must be ready with all these things. So sometimes it is possible we can learn very fast by going through all the alternatives, these options. What is the meaning of that particular word in B option, C option, D option? That itself gives you a lot of enlightenment in that topic. So occasionally please do so. In case you don't know the answer, immediately put it in the system. Type out what is the meaning of semiotics, you will get it. Like that you have to gain knowledge in this area. Kinesics is the study of body language and facial expressions in non-verbal communication. In non-verbal communication, what does haptics refer to? Haptics, it is connected with the communication. A, the use of space. B, touch and physical contact. C, the study of time perception. D, the use of silence. That is touch and physical contact. In non-verbal communication, what does haptics refer to? Touch and physical contact. Haptics in non-verbal communication focuses on touch and physical contact. Which type of non-verbal communication involves the use of gestures, postures and movements? Which type of non-verbal communication involves the use of gestures, postures and movements? Paralanguage, proxemics, kinesics, olfactics. Kinesics involve gestures, postures and movements as part of non-verbal communications. So all technical terms involved, you must know that. What is this olfactics? That is connected with taste, I think, olfactory. That is related with the taste. Olfactics. Kinesics is this one. Which of the following is an example of a non-verbal cue related to proxemics? Which of the following is an example of a non-verbal cue related to proxemics. Handshake, smiling, eye contact, personal space. That is personal space. Proxemics deals with the use of space, including personal space. Which of the following is a non-verbal cue that indicates interest or attentiveness? Which of the following is a non-verbal cue that indicates interest or attentiveness? That is nodding, just we are shaking the head. Nodding is a non-verbal cue that typically indicates interest or agreement. When someone maintains a steady eye contact during a conversation, it often signifies what? When someone maintains steady eye contact during a conversation, it often signifies what? Confidence. Steady eye contact usually signals confidence in nonverbal communication. Which nonverbal cue is often associated with defensiveness or discomfort? Which nonverbal cue is often associated with defensiveness or discomfort? That is touching one's face. Touching one's face is a nonverbal cue often associated with defensiveness or discomfort. What is the most common nonverbal communication channel? Proxemics, kinesics, haptics, paralanguage. Kinesics involves the study of body movement, gestures, facial expression, making it the most common nonverbal communication channel. So among these four, this one, kinesics. The most common nonverbal communication channel is proxemics, not proxemics, kinesics. Kinesics involves the study of body movements, gestures and facial expressions, making it the most common nonverbal communication. Next one, what does the study of proxemics primarily focus on? What does the study of proxemics is primarily focus on? That is spatial distances. Proxemics means something related with the space. How you are standing before another person, how far or how close, like that. Proxemics deals with the study of spatial distances between individuals and how these distances convey meanings in different social and cultural contexts. Suppose you are talking to a very respectful person or authority figure, you have to stand a little 1 foot away from him. You won't be so close to your principal. Suppose a student, he will not be standing very near the principal. He cannot go very close to the principal. He will respectfully, he will keep a distance normally. You have seen, especially the authority figures. So the proxemics deals with the study of spatial distances between individuals and how these distances convey meanings in different social and cultural contexts. But if you are talking to a friend, you will be very close to him. You simply touching him or even hurting him perhaps. So not respect, out of love you are doing that. So proxemics deals with the study of spatial distances. So please keep this in mind. Which nonverbal communication aspect involves the perception and use of time? Very important one. Which nonverbal communication aspect involves the perception and use of time? That is chronemics. Chronological. We use the word chronological, especially in history we are doing. So it comes from chronemics, something connected with the use of time, perception and use of time. So chronemics. Which nonverbal communication aspect involves the perception and use of time? Chronemics. Chronemics is the study of how people perceive and use time in communication, including concepts like punctuality, waiting time and reaction time, etc. So a study of how people perceive and use time in communication, including concepts like punctuality, waiting time and reaction time. In non-verbal communication, which channel primarily involves the use of one's voice, pitch and intonation? In non-verbal communication, which channel primarily involves the use of one's voice, pitch and intonation? That is paralanguage. So once again read the question. In non-verbal communication, which channel primarily involves the use of one's voice, pitch and intonation. We already said that, change of voice, slowing down or going fast. That is paralanguage. Paralanguage encompasses vocal elements such as pitch, intonation and speech rate, providing additional layers of meaning to spoken words. Paralanguage encompasses vocal elements such as pitch, intonation and speech rate, that is speed of speech, providing additional layers of meaning to spoken words. What is the term for nonverbal communication through the use of space and distance? What is the term for nonverbal communication through the use of space and distance? That is proxemics. Proxemics focuses on the communication of spatial relationships and the use of space to convey meaning. Proxemics focuses on the communication of spatial relationships and the use of space to convey meaning. Which nonverbal communication aspect focuses on the use of sense and odors to convey messages or emotions? That is olfactics. Nothing to do with the taste. I just wrongly I made a mention in the above question. Olfactics refers to the smell, actually smell, sense and odors. So please change that. Formally I said it is connected with the taste. No, I think it must be tactile, something like tactile. This is the olfactics means this is something related to the smell, use of sense, odors, etc. So olfactics refers to the study of sense and odors and their role in nonverbal communication, influencing emotions and perceptions. What is an effective strategy for overcoming language barriers in intercultural communication? Which is an effective strategy for overcoming language barriers in intercultural communication? Avoiding slang and idiomatic expressions. Avoiding slang and idiomatic expressions. Avoiding slang and idiomatic expression helps in clarity and understanding where there are language barriers. What do you mean by slang? Slang means certain words spoken in a particular territory, in a particular area, that will not have any meaning in another area. Some words people will be using in a particular district. If you use the same word in another district, they will beat you up. They may feel it is offensive. The reason is that a slang word. Slang word means that is peculiar to a particular place, particular area. Some words, sometimes we use, but that should not come in communication. Formal communication, we should not use slang, they say. Likewise, idiomatic expression means high expressions in such a very bombastic language like. So people may not understand it. See, it should be very simple, very clear. The language should be spoken in a clear and understandable manner. If you use bombastic, very difficult words, idiomatic, grammar, everything, idiomatic expressions and all, then people cannot understand. That is the idea here. Avoiding slang and idiomatic expressions helps in clarity and understanding when there are language barriers. What is a crucial skill for effective intercultural communication? Crucial skill for effective intercultural communication. That is active listening. Active listening helps in understanding the perspectives of individuals from different cultures and promoting effective communication. Active listening helps in understanding the perspectives, the views of individuals from different cultures and promoting effective communication. Which approach fosters empathy and understanding in intercultural communication? Which approach fosters empathy and understanding in intercultural communication? Cultural relativism. Cultural relativism encourages understanding and appreciating cultures without judgment, fostering empathy in intercultural interactions. Cultural relativism encourages understanding and appreciating cultures without judgment, fostering empathy in intercultural interactions. In intercultural communication, what does the term cultural sensitivity refer to? In intercultural communication, what does the term cultural sensitivity refer to? That is, being aware of and respectful of cultural differences. If there are cultural differences, you are respectful towards that. So, being aware of and respectful of cultural differences. Cultural sensitivity involves acknowledging and respecting cultural differences. What is cultural competence in intercultural communication? What is cultural competence in intercultural communication? That is the ability to effectively interact with people from diverse cultures. So what does this mean? Cultural competence. Cultural competence means the ability to effectively interact with others from diverse different cultures. So cultural competence refers to the ability to interact effectively with individuals from different cultures. Yeah. Yeah, something. Sorry, some adjustment. Yeah, so in the beginning I was having different size. Sometimes it has, my photo has entered into that. I think due to some technical issue here, no problem. I will be careful. Yes. What is ethnocentrism in intercultural communication? What is ethnocentrism in intercultural communication? That is the belief that one's own culture is superior. We already seen that. The belief that one's own culture is superior. Ethnocentrism involves believing one's own culture is superior to others, which can hinder effective intercultural communication. Which communication barriers is related to making assumptions based on one's cultural background? That is a stereotype. Yeah, stereotyping. Stereotyping is making assumptions based on cultural background, which can impede effective intercultural communication. Stereotyping. We already explained to you what are the barriers to effective communication. Effective communication is crucial for successful relationships, collaborations, and achieving common goals. However, numerous barriers can hinder effective communication, diminishing its potential and causing misunderstandings. Understanding and addressing these barriers is essential for improving communication in various personal, professional, and societal contexts. One of the most prominent barriers to effective communication is language differences. People who speak different languages or dialects may struggle to comprehend each other accurately, leading to misunderstandings or misinterpretations. Even within the same language, differences in terminology, accents, or nuances can pose challenges. Within the same language, differences in terms, accents, and nuances can pose challenges, can give challenges. Cultural differences. Cultural diversity brings a richness to society, but it can also create communication barriers. Different cultures have distinct communication norms, nonverbal cues, and understanding of language, which can lead to misinterpretations. Gestures, facial expressions, and even eye contact can carry different meanings across cultures. Perception and interpretation. Individuals often perceive and interpret information based on their experiences, beliefs, and personal biases. This subjectivity can cause varying interpretations of a message, leading to confusion and miscommunication. Subjectivity means a little bit of selfishness. No? I have my own views, right? That is called subjectivities. Factors such as past experiences, emotions, and personal prejudices can influence how people perceive and interpret messages. Physical barriers. Physical barriers such as noise, distance, or environmental conditions can significantly impact communication. Inadequate acoustics, loud noises, or even poor lighting can hinder the ability to hear or see the speaker clearly, making effective communication difficult. Psychological barriers. Psychological barriers encompass mental and emotional factors that affect communication. Fear, anxiety, stress, or preconceived notions about the center or the message can affect effective communication. Inability to concentrate, memory issues, or low attention spans can also be psychological barriers. Then perceptual barriers, that is understanding. No? Perceptual barriers. Perceptual barriers relate to how people perceive themselves and others. Prejudice, stereotypes, or bias can distort the way individuals perceive and understand messages. They are perceptual barriers. Assumptions based on race, gender, age, or socioeconomic status can cloud communication and hinder effective interaction. Then information overload. In the digital age, individuals are bombarded with an abundance of information from various sources, leading to information overload. Sorting through excessive information can overwhelm individuals and impede their ability to absorb and process essential messages accurately. So, sorting through excessive information can overwhelm individual and impede their ability to absorb and process essential messages accurately. That means overload of messages. See, today simply we are haunted by so much of information, entertainment, or big facts, big great facts, personalities, politics. You don't have time to watch everything. That type of information overload. So it really excites the individuals. You need more than 24 hours. If you want to be adequately, going through these messages, in the internet or WhatsApp or anything, you may need 36 hours or 48 hours, not 24 hours. That's the situation now. So sorting through excessive information can excite individuals and impede their ability to absorb and process essential messages accurately. That is information overload. Technological barriers. While technology has revolutionized communication, it can also act as a barrier. Technical glitches, inadequate knowledge of technology, or reliance on digital communication at the expense of face-to-face interaction can hinder effective communication. There are technological barriers like that. Then lack of feedback and clarification. Communication is a two-way process and feedback is vital for ensuring that the message is accurately received and understood. Lack of feedback or an opportunity to seek clarification can prevent effective communication by perpetuating misunderstanding. Simply lifelong misunderstandings, misunderstanding. So perpetuating misunderstanding, maintaining misunderstandings always. So lack of feedback or an opportunity to seek clarification can prevent effective communication. Organizational structures and policies. Organizational structures hierarchies and policies can create barriers to effective communication. Strict hierarchies or a top-down communication approach can inhibit open dialogue and discourage employees from sharing their thoughts or concerns. So some questions we can ask, which barrier is characterized by the deliberate withholding or manipulation of information? That is filtering. Filtering occurs when individuals selectively share or withhold information to portray a specific image or influence the receiver's perception. Which barrier occurs when the sender and receiver have a different understanding of the meaning of words or symbols used in communication? Which barrier occurs when the sender and receiver have different understanding of the meanings of words? So the words, symbols, the word means immediately language, semantics. That is already we have seen that. Semantics. Semantics relates to the meaning of words and symbols in communication and can lead to misunderstanding if not shared or interpreted correctly. Which barrier is characterized by the excessive use of technical language or specialized terminology? That is jargon. Jargon refers to specialized terminology. In a particular subject, we have technical language. That is jargon. If you use it often to the other person who don't know anything about that subject, then it becomes a jargon. Jargon refers to specialized terminology that may be incomprehensible, that is not understandable, incomprehensible to those not familiar with a specific field, hindering effective communication. Which barrier occurs when the receiver feels overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information overload? Which barrier occurs when the receiver feels overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information? That is information overload. Just now we explained, information overload happens when a person receives more information than they can effectively process or absorb, diminishing the clarity and understanding of the message. Which barrier involves assigning different meanings to nonverbal cues, gestures, or facial expressions? Which barrier involves assigning different meanings to nonverbal cues, gestures, or facial expressions? That is perception. Perception refers to how individuals interpret and assign meanings to nonverbal cues, gestures, or facial expressions, which can vary and cause misunderstandings. Perception. Select the emotional barrier to effective communication. That is prejudice, that we know. Prejudice and emotional biases. Prejudice and emotional biases can obstruct effective communication by distorting one's perception of others, leading to misinterpretation. So prejudice and emotional biases can obstruct effective communication by distorting one's perception of others, leading to misinterpretation. What is a physical barrier to effective communication? What is a physical barrier to effective communication? That is geography. Physical barriers can include geographical distance, time zones, or even physical obstructions that hinder communication. Which of the following is an example of an organizational barrier to communication? Which of the following is an example of an organizational barrier to communication? That is a bureaucracy and hierarchy. Organizational barriers often include hierarchical structures, complex procedures, and bureaucracy that can impede efficient communication. Organizational barriers often include hierarchical structures, complex procedures, and bureaucracy, all related to office, college office, school office, any other office related aspects. Now, ineffective listening and failing to understand the speaker's perspective can be categorized as what? ineffective listening and failing to understand the speaker's perspective. That is, psychological barriers. Failing to listen effectively and not understanding the speaker's perspective fall under the category of psychological barriers as they are related to an individual's mental and emotional state. Then mass media and society. Mass media plays a significant role in shaping modern societies. It encompasses various forms of communication such as newspapers, television, radio, the internet and social media. The influence of mass media on society is profound, very deep, affecting how individuals perceive the world, make decisions and interact with each other. This will, of course, what is the information dissemination and awareness? What is the meaning of this? Information dissemination and awareness. Mass media serves as a primary source of information dissemination, allowing people to stay informed about local, national and international events. Newspapers, televisions and online news platforms provide the latest updates on a wide range of subjects, contributing to a well-informed citizenship in other words. So that is the idea here. So newspapers, television, online news platforms provide the latest updates on a wide range of subjects, contributing to a well-informed citizenship. Informed individuals are better equipped to engage in societal discussions, make informed decisions, and participate in the democratic process. Cultural influence. Mass media plays a pivotal role in shaping culture by reflecting and influencing societal values, beliefs, and norms. Television shows, films, music, and literature are powerful mediums that transmit cultural ideas and promote social change. They can either reinforce existing cultural norms or challenge them, thereby playing a role in cultural evolution and the fostering of a multicultural society. Political landscape and public opinion. Political landscape and public opinion. Mass media significantly impacts the political landscape by shaping public opinion and influencing political discourse. Political campaigns, debates, and advertisements broadcasted through various media outlets can sway public perception of candidates and policies. Media can foster a sense of political engagement or disengagement, affecting voter turnout and political participation. Then socialization and identity formation. Mass media contributes to the socialization process by providing a framework for individuals to develop their identity and worldview. Socialization and identity formation. Mass media contributes to the socialization process by providing a framework for individuals to develop their identity and worldview. Television programs, social media, and advertising influence how people perceive themselves and others, impacting self-esteem, body image, and social expectations. Moreover, media serves as a means of social connection, fostering a sense of belonging within various communities. Now, technology and digital transformation. Technology and digital transformation. The advent of the internet and digital technologies has revolutionized mass media, altering how information is created, distributed, and consumed. Online platforms have democratized content creation, enabling individuals to share their perspectives and voice. However, it has also raised concerns regarding misinformation, echo chambers, and privacy, highlighting the need for media literacy and responsible consumption. So that is the idea here. Stereotypes and representation. Stereotypes. Mass media has historically played a role in perpetuating stereotypes and biases related to gender, race, ethnicity, and other demographics. Representation in media is crucial as it shapes perceptions and attitudes towards various social groups. Efforts to promote diversity and inclusivity in media content are essential for challenging stereotypes and fostering a more inclusive society. Efforts to promote diversity and inclusivity in media content are essential for challenging stereotypes and fostering a more inclusive society. Public agenda setting. Public agenda setting. Mass media has the power to set the public agenda by determining which issues are prioritized and discussed. Through their coverage and framing of events, media outlets influence what topics capture public attention and which ones are overlooked. This agenda setting function can shape public discourse and policy priorities. So, public agenda setting. Now, some of the questions we can discuss here. In mass media theory, the agenda setting hypothesis suggests that there are four options given. Agenda setting means what? That is, media shapes public opinion. Media shapes public opinion. The agenda setting theory says that the media has the power to influence the public agenda by highlighting certain issues, leading to shaping public opinion and perception. Which of the following is an example of traditional mass media? Television, social media, podcast, blogs. Television has become, the traditional mass media. In 2000, that was modern. Now 2025, it has become a traditional model. Television is a classic example of traditional mass media, reaching a wide audience through broadcast channels. Gatekeeping in mass media refers to what? Gatekeeping in mass media refers to what? It is controlling the information flow to the public. What to give, what not to give. What information can be given, what information should not be given. So, controlling the information flow to the public. That is called gatekeeping in mass media. So, gatekeeping involves controlling and determining what information is shared with the public through mass media. Which communication model includes a feedback loop? That is a two-step flow model. A two-step flow model incorporates feedback from the audience, suggesting that media messages are first received by opinion leaders who then disseminate the information to others. Then cultural imperialism in mass media refers to what? Cultural imperialism. That is dominance of one's culture's media over others. Dominance of one culture's media over others. Cultural imperialism refers to the influence and dominance of one culture's media and values over others. Often at the expense of local or minority cultures. The concept of the echo chambers in media refers to what? Echo chambers. Isolation of individuals in like-minded communities. Echo chambers occurs when individuals are exposed only to information and opinions that align with their existing beliefs, reinforcing those beliefs. Echo chambers occurs when individuals are exposed only to information and opinions that align with their existing beliefs, reinforcing those beliefs. Muckraking in journalism refers to what? That is investigative reporting exposing societal issues. That is called muckraking. Muckraking. Muckraking in journalism means investigative reporting, exposure to societal issues. Muckraking involves journalists uncovering and exposing social and political issues to prompt reform and change. The long tail concept in media refers to what? The long tail concept. That is the availability of a vast array of niche content. The long tail concept represents the ability of digital media to provide a wide variety of niche content catering to specialized interests. Media literacy refers to what? Media literacy involves being able to critically assess and interpret media content, considering its purpose, bias, and accuracy. Which theory suggests that individuals use media to satisfy specific needs and desires? Which theory suggests that individuals use media to satisfy specific needs and desires? That is, uses and gratification theory. The uses and gratification theory holds that individuals select and use media to fulfill specific psychological or social needs and desires. Uses and gratification theory. Next one. What is the primary function of mass media in society? That is to inform. Mass media serves as a vital tool for disseminating information, spreading information, which includes news, educational content, and other factual information. Which type of media provides a real-time platform for immediate communication with a wide audience? Which type of media provides a real-time platform? That is social media. Social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram allow users to communicate and share information in real time with a large audience. The hypodermic needle or magic bullet theory of media effects suggests what? The hypodermic needle or magic bullet theory of media. That is, media messages have a powerful and immediate influence on audiences. Media messages have a powerful and immediate influence on audiences. This theory suggests that media can directly and uniformly influence people's opinions and behaviors. So that is what this hypodermic needle or magic bullet. That is, the media can directly and uniformly influence people's opinions and behaviors. Which of the following is an example of mass media convergence? An example of mass media convergence. That is a radio station broadcasting news online. Mass media convergence refers to the integration of different media forms into a single platform or device. Mass media convergence refers to the integration of different media forms into a single platform or device. The fourth estate in society refers to the media. No doubt. This we know through general knowledge. The media. The media is often referred to as the fourth estate because it plays a crucial role in providing oversight and holding other branches of government accountable. Which term is used to describe the economic model where media companies provide content for free or at a low cost, funded primarily through advertising revenue? Which term? That is ad-supported model. The ad-supported model relies on advertising revenue to support media content and make it available to consumers at little or no direct cost. So, ad-supported model. Through the advertisements, the media get the revenue for having their programs. That is the idea. The ad-supported model relies on advertising revenue to support media content and making it available to consumers at little or no direct cost. Thank you very much, dear friends. God bless you abundantly. Of course, it's a very long video. Of course, you have been, I'm sure, if you go through everything, you will be getting the entire picture of this Unit 4 communication. See, whatever is in the latest syllabus, I have given it. I have given some questions also. Of course, soon we are going to discuss on old question papers, previous year question papers also. But at the same time, the latest syllabus we must know. The purpose of my giving everything is that we must have a comprehensive, full understanding of the unit. That is my idea. I hope I have fulfilled my mission. It is your turn to go through everything and get enlightenment out of this unit. God bless you abundantly. Thank you very much. Let us meet in other video lectures. Please subscribe. Subscribe my video so that it becomes a little. It gets a little value. That's the idea here. So if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to all my videos. Go through my YouTube channel, jesueasy. I have got more than 90 videos for NET-PAPER-1 and paper-2 also. So you can go through that, and whatever you need, it will be available, I'm sure. Almost all the topics I have given, all the units. Even though certain things from the previous syllabus, but still it is relevant, especially this mathematical reasoning, logical reasoning, environment. Nothing is old or new. All these things are coming again and again. So I request you to go through my YouTube channel. I have given all the new things now. Latest syllabus I have exhausted almost. Still I will be giving some more some more videos also on different units. Now I am giving it in an explanatory manner, detailed manner. Now already I have given first unit, second unit, this is the fourth unit. I have finished it in English. I will give it in Tamil also. But then I will give everything, all 10 units, within a short span of time. So if you please, come along with me and then, read or listen to my videos again and again so that you get the comprehensive idea of everything. Thank you very much for your presence. God bless you abundantly. God bless you for the great success in NET.